Oh well. Well, you're going to be on Chopperhead. So.
That's right. That's right, Purockers.
We will cut you.
It's like...
In fact, we'll overdose people with you.
A check's in the mail, Tim.
Okay.
Well, that is greatly appreciated, just because, you know, again, when I say I do this show, it's a labor of love. It really is. And when the name is out there, when KNEC brand is out there, I want people to know that we're online, we're available, we have a lot of content on our website, and this is what we do. It streams 24/7. And when I have guests in like yourself, it's important that you're basically I'm exposing new listeners to new music. And everything's cyclical. There's always someone turning 18. There's always someone turning 21. There's always someone being born. And when they grow into hopefully becoming a rock and heavy metal fan, they're going to be discovering, you know, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Slayer and Kiss and Deep Purple and Rainbow and all these bands for the first time. And this is something that, you know, you and I have been sort of following for so many years. And I don't know, I just figured that with that show, okay. With Chopperhead magazine, what do you think?
Well, I got one trivia question for you.
Oh, see now after that, all that buildup of okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's.
They weren't like sheer metal, but they rocked hard. I'd say they're like extreme hard rock.
Okay, fire away.
Out of the Bay Area, band called Y&T. Remember Y&T?
Of course.
You can name their main guy, songwriter.
I can do that. That's your question?
Yeah, because that was one of my favorite bands.
Oh.
They never exploded like, you know, I thought they should. They did well in Europe, but I thought they were great songwriters. And so you know Dave Minichetti.
Dave Minichetti.
Minichetti, yeah.
Dave Minichetti, Phil Kinnemore on bass, Leonard Hayes on drums, and Joey Owls.
There you go.
On guitar.
There you go, man.
Now that's the original lineup.
Right.
I forget.
Well, that's the one you really have to know because, you know, most bands, if they stay around long enough, they start changing certain members like underwear. You know,
so it's a revolving door, man.
Right. You just remember the main guys, man.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, yeah. Struck Down, Earthshaker, Black Tiger. Mean Streak. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved those guys, man. I was just, I mean, then all that stuff came from the old KNAC on Long Beach, and when it was in Long Beach.
Well, you meaning when you listened to
5.5, right?
That's when you heard a lot of.
That's what introduced me to Y&T.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's encouraging to hear.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I mean, I learned. You know, when I came out here, I was primarily a keyboard player, and I was playing in funk bands, but I always liked rock. And I had a good friend at the time who wanted me to sing. His name was Dan Mahoney, and so I started singing with him. And he did rock, and he did metal, man. And I'll never forget him because he looked like a clone of Billy Sheehan. Because he was a bass player, he wanted to be like Billy, and so he made sure he looked like Billy. And we became really good friends. And then I just became an extreme metalhead through him. And because up until that point, I was into rock. I was into like Aerosmith and all that stuff. But Dan Mahoney made me a metalhead. He was like, okay, that's cool, you're into that, man, but you need to listen to some sax. You need to listen, you know. He was hipping me to it. And then he got me into the whole guitar god things. Like, you need to listen to some Gary Moore, man. You know, and he was like educating me, you know, making sure I had it down, you know. And so I thank him a lot because he made sure that I wasn't just a poser. So I love him for that, man.
Yeah, it helps to be educated and know the subject matter of, you know, what you going to be listening to or concerts and stuff. Right. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah,
it does help. But that's good. You had a good teacher.
Yeah.
Because
and like a lot of things in life, man, I can't find that guy for the life of me now. I lost touch with him many years ago.
Did you try Facebook? Try MySpace?
I should. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. He was out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he came out of.
Right on.
Like most people out here, they're not from here, so.
Very few LA natives, man, that I run into. Everyone, you're right. Everyone is migrated here because you know, depending on the industry that they're moving to, it's the weather, beaches, whatever, and it's.
Oh, another thing. You had John Bouvier in here.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
What's he working on now?
Well, he's working on Crown of Thorns still. He actually is in the midst of doing some stuff with some unreleased tracks of Joey Ramone. That was the most current thing that he said he's involved with. But we mostly talked about the early days of the Plasmatics and, of course, Crown of Thorns because... mainly with him, he multitasks like crazy. He's a writer, he's a songwriter, he's a producer. He's always in Europe. He's always doing things. I asked him basically point blank, when do you find the time to do Crown of Thorns business? And he said, you know, I try to squeeze it in. It was cool. It was a good interview.
I just interviewed the guy who he originally started Crown of Thorns with just this past Thursday, Mickey Free. Oh, Mickey Free. Yeah, he was in L.A. and I went and hung out with him over at the London and. I mean, those two guys, man. The reason why I love those guys. Remember when they rocked, and they're bike nuts, both of them.
Okay.
You know, I mean, they. I mean, I remember when they did the first Crown of Thorns album. They did their shoots with their Harleys.
Okay.
You know?
That's wow. I'm trying to remember that now.
It was like early '90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. The first release came out in '93.
Yeah, they were promoting themselves on their Harleys, man.
Right on.
That's how I remember them, you know.
Okay.
And so when you mentioned his name, I lit up, man, because I love that project. He rides, man. He's a cool cat, man.